Football is back, baby. It's
So
a
good.
game shorter. I feel like this preseason, I've probably the most starters I've seen start in a game one of a preseason in a while. So a lot of storylines, a lot of new teams trying to contend, a lot of old contenders trying to stay on top, like Philadelphia, Buffalo, and San Francisco. So I'm hyped about it. What about yourself? Let's go.
Oh my God. I was so excited to hear Collinsworth at the Hall of Fame game. And now I'm just like 3 more weeks of preseason. We get a week off and then just football. We're not that far away. We can practically smell it. We're like 3 weeks away from, you know, the first week and just all these storylines that we're going to talk about, starting with like Texans and Patriots, right? Just a normal average Thursday night game. We got storylines with seeing CJ Stroud. Patriots got a potential gadget slash potential, quarterback of the future.
Potential.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, the Patriots defense definitely looks good. Their
As always.
personnel on the defensive end, I mean, you have Judon, you're continuing to draft talent. Bill Belichick knows how to make you play left-handed. And then
Mm.
this is the thing that I don't get that the Patriots figured out, but nobody else consistently makes another team play left-handed on a regular basis. So that's
Mm.
when even when the Patriots have lesser personnel and they were pretty bad last year, but they were more competitive than I thought I'd be. It's just that continued skill to make your life tough and make you do something you don't want to do. And it's like teams don't build that way, but you saw that defense give CJ Stroud a tough game and it was tough to see them just yank him right away. I was like, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill his confidence?
It was his first. He played 2 possessions and he
Yeah.
threw 3 passes, and one of which, a lot of pressure came. He threw the pick. It was kind of an ugly pick, but overall, like, it's gonna happen. He's a rookie, and for them to remove him, you already know what you have with Davis Mills, and you already know what you have with Case Keenum. Both of them are probably not going to start right away. Maybe Davis Mills does. Who knows? But like to do that after a mistake, should have let him go out there one last, even just another possession, so we can shake it off. But I don't think that's going to be good for his confidence.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be good for his confidence. And then last thing I have to say about the Texans is Tank Bell making a pretty good statement game one. This is a team that doesn't really have a lot of weapons outside of Damian Pierce and, Dalton Schultz, but he's like a third down weapon. I wouldn't call him like a weapon. But Tank Bell came in there, had some good elusiveness, made a few guys miss. What were your initial thoughts on him?
I think he's going to be the wide receiver one for them at one point. Tank Dell, he's super quick. He's got some nice routes. I want to see him build upon it next game, but I think they got themselves a number one, at least for this season and moving forward.
Yeah, and then New England media is going nuts right now. Probably
Yes.
the popular show in New England is Felger and Maz, if you're from New England. And Maz is kind of this crazy, greasy Boston guy. And
Mhm.
then he goes on these kind of out of bounds where he makes way too much out of something small.
Yes.
But maybe
100%.
it isn't. So Malik Cunningham comes in, undrafted rookie free agent. They sign him, rips off about a 58-yard run. Didn't look like an accident. He kind of anticipated it, made a few people miss, and it was a really good run. And now New England media is like, yes, no more Bailey Zappi. Now it's Malik Cunningham. He's the next guy in New England. Forget about Mac Jones. Someone like Colin Cowherd, one of the more popular voices, was like, as far as he's the most interesting player on the Patriots. And if I tuned into a Patriots game, he's the guy I'd want to see most, which isn't a good thing. It's just a detriment on how being boring the Patriots are when your best player is Juju Smith Schuster on offense, and then it's tight ends and
Mm.
Tyquan Thornton, who you reached on, and George Pickens, who we'll get to later, but he was right after him.
That was my takeaway. It was like, this offense is still so boring.
Yeah.
It's the exact same team. And with Malik Cunningham, I want to see him build upon it. Obviously, the next couple games, I think they should give him a couple more possessions. But I mean, you're talking about modern NFL. He looks like a modern NFL quarterback. We'll see how he is in the passing attack more as he gets more reps. But like, he's elusive. He can run. He's physical. I think he could be really good for us. And, you know, Mac Jones, you know what you get with him, and you know what you get with Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi didn't look very impressive. Struck me as like more of like a, I like Gardner Minshew a lot, but kind of like a Gardner Minshew quarterback or like
Yeah.
a Mike White, where like they'll get you, they'll be good to fill in for, but a full season of him probably not the same. Same with Cooper Rush last year for the Cowboys. Malik Cunningham though, make him a little Taysom Hill guy, make him a little Julian Edelman, or maybe make him this quarterback we haven't quite seen yet, which is like an upgraded Taysom Hill. Could be very interesting for the Pats.
Yeah, and we saw some sets even by the 49ers last year when Jimmy G was playing where they would bring in Trey Lance and Jimmy G, have them on the field. And I think Sean Payton was definitely onto something with Taysom Hill, where he kind of made this hybrid tight end quarterback, can fill in all those roles. So I think that's something Belichick has always done, where he finds these guys at the end of the rounds, and even just like a skill guy, where they had the best gunner in a while. I'm blanking on his name right now. Matthew Slater. And
Yes.
then Edelman was a quarterback, turned him into a great slot receiver. So excited to see what they do with him, but also huge fan. But at the same time, this is a detriment on how boring the Patriots are.